Hey everybody, and welcome back to Toy Picker Infinity's toy channel. And today I'm doing a special request for my buddy Vinny out there in the Bronx, and I am going to be doing my review of God Marz. Of course, this is not a Godaikin God Marz, or, well, it is a Popy God Marz, but I'll explain that in a second. But this is the Jumbo Combine and Bot die-cast metal 6-in-1 God Marz, and even though it has the die-cast metal Taiwan box and inner cover, this is actually a Popy God Marz because all of the robots on the inside are marked with Popy. And so when I open it up, I'll show you that. But here's the box. It basically looks like the Popy box. It's pretty much the same as the Japanese Popy box, except everything is in English instead of it being in Japanese, of course. So this is what the outside looks like, and let's go ahead and open it up. And on the inside, it actually has a Popy style window box. It says 6-in-1 Jumbo Combined Bot, but interestingly enough, up in the top corner up here where the die-cast metal sign is, there would have been a Popy Chogokin sign here, and there would have been a Popy sign down here where in Japanese it would have been God Marz, and all the other wording would have been in Japanese. The cool thing about this variant here is that if you buy any of the later die-cast metal Godtrons, the black window is black. There's nothing on it. There's no wording, no nothing. This actually still has all the wording on it, just like a Popy would, or a European Popy even, but in English. So it's kind of cool that I was able to get a hold of this. Now the robot inside, of course, is an actual Popy God Marz. It has all of the cards, just like the Popy. All of the robots on the inside are Popy robots. And when I got it, now I don't know what this came with originally, but when I got it, it actually had a God Marz instruction booklet in it. Because, I mean, this robot is a God Marz. Again, all the robots are marked with their Popy markings, except for the red robot up here. The red one does not have Popy markings on the back, but the rest do. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it's in very, very good condition. This is not one of my more mint robots or near mint robots, but it's still in pretty good condition. I mean, the white robot has a little typical plastic discoloration like all of the white robots do in a lot of the God Marz sets. And there's a little bit of paint wear and sticker wear here, but overall the set's really nice. The chrome's really nice. Cards are in great condition. The booklet here, here's the God Marz booklet that came with it, so it was kind of weird that, you know, here's a English version set of the Popy that's supposed to be a knockoff, but it came with a God Marz complete booklet from Godaikin. So that was kind of cool because, you know, it has all the names and everything of all the robots. But God Gear up there, who is the red robot, he's the only one without the Popy signs. So here he is, and he has none of the Popy markings on him. I mean, everything else about him's the same, even has the little #1 on the helmet here. So I'm trying to get that to focus there, but there's little #1, but he has no Popy signs. But all the other guys, they all have their signature Popy signs. So it was kind of cool to get a hold of this and pull it out and go, oh my gosh, you know, hey, this is I would consider a crossover piece. So probably when Bandai or Popy pulled their licensing from die-cast metal, and die-cast metal began to make all of the what everybody considers knockoff robots, these are probably just leftover parts. So it was kind of cool to have this. And as a Chogokin collector, you know, it's really cool to have this. But So all of these guys comes with all their weapons, all of their swords. We've got all of the swords for, you know, God Gear and Major Sphinx, which is the big guy right here, and Magen Uranus, which would be the white robot, Magen Titan, I hope I'm saying all of these correctly, Magen Shin, which is the black robot, and then Magen Ra, which is the blue robot. And they all come with their swords and weapons, and I'm not going to go through and attach all of those, but, you know, in the booklet it shows you exactly which sword goes to who. But the real reason why we're here is to form the robot, right? Right. So let's get to that. So first of all, with God Marz, you definitely want to do the legs first. So put the arms in on both the blue and the black robot. And this one's really tight too. The joints are really tight. Everything snaps together pretty tight. I'm having to push a little harder than I'd like to, but that's okay. Means it probably wasn't played with all that much. So that's fine with me. And so you want to make sure you have these on the right side, because on the chest parts on the right side here, the pieces out of the legs of Sphinx, which is the big one, the way they lock in here, locks in a certain way, so the legs stagger a certain distance. So you want to make sure that you have those legs set properly. So Sphinx, we'll go ahead and completely transform it. Make sure you pop the hips out, pop the head up through the window, slide his little robot head back so you can bring up the main robot head, then turn the arms around like so. And then you want to make sure these are lined up, because there's little clips that hold the arms in. Oops. Yeah, that happens. The head likes to fall back in. Doesn't like to be out. And now he's ready to go. So you just lock the legs in. Make sure that you have these leg pieces out of the way too, because you can break those off. They have just little hinges holding them on, okay? So there's legs are off. Oh, another thing about God Marz that's really annoying. The fists shoot off all the time. So sometimes when you want to form the robot, just pull the fists off. And then Gear, who's the driver, can fit up inside. Oh, up inside the box, there's these little pilot seats. And you could pull out the little pilot seats if you want to, and stick them inside so it looks like the pilot's on the inside here. And it just slips right in. Oh, hey, it doesn't want to just slip right in. This is not wanting to cooperate with me. There it goes. Oh, still not wanting to slide in. Vinny is going to be like, what are you doing, man? You're going to scratch up that chrome. And then once you get the seat in, pop the head up, and it closes down over the little seat if you want. Usually I don't put the seat in, but I'm just putting it in just so I can show you guys, I guess, how this all works. Okay, now he's tucked inside. See, there he is tucked inside there. And close the top down. Now, the arms. So the arms, here's the arms, and I'm going to pull the fists off. And the reason why I'm going to pull the fists off is because once you attach these guys to the back, many times when you pick up and grab the robot, the fists go shooting off. So you want to fold these arms back here, fold the toes back. Now see how the arms sit back here, but the buttons are exposed? So many times it's really easy just to hit these buttons. And the fists will shoot right off. Okay, so fold the toes back, and there's a little button on the back here, and that's to release. You also want to push it to make sure it's in or else the robots will not stay on properly, just like the white guy. The white arm just fell right off. And this one, it tends to, my right arm on here tends to fall off every once in a while because, again, I don't think this thing was played with much, so everything's like really tight. And usually in display in my cabinet, it just sits in robot mode, but, you know, I need to like transform it, I guess, here and there to loosen it up. Anyway, push the heads down so you don't have little heads sticking up, or it also look like a three-headed monster. And there's God Marz. Okay, so that's how he looks. He's a big, heavy brick. The only movement that he has is up here in the arms, so he can bend his arms kind of like that, you know, and raise his sword. But that's all the movement he has. There's no leg movement whatsoever. I mean, he is just a solid, solid brick of die cast. So he is just a big, big robot. Kind of like, I guess, Voltes 5 or Combatra. You know, they don't have any leg movement. Or, well, Combatra has a little bit, but like Voltes 5 doesn't really have any leg movement. And it's just more arms and stuff. Same with like Goggle 5. He would probably be like Goggle 5 too. There's just nothing to him. But he comes with this humongous sword, and that is his main slashing weapon. So, you know, pretty much like all of our favorite Chogokins, they have big giant swords that come off. And it has the typical shooting fists. Push the buttons down. See, there's that right arm again. So I need to just mess with this thing for a while and keep clipping it on and off, on and off, on and off, so that clip will loosen up. And these are the clips back here I'm talking about. These are these little red buttons right here. So see, this one's not totally sticking out, and that's just because it's so tight and it just doesn't want to work right. And so I need to loosen it up a little bit. Probably just need to put a little grease on the spring, or hopefully I don't need to replace a spring, but if I have to, I will. But see how the buttons on the back? Now, a lot of kids don't know grab from the legs. Most kids will pick up from the body, and as soon as you pick up from the body, you'll hit these buttons and your fist goes shooting off. But, you know, that's God Marz. Not much else to him. He's really, really cool, and if you have a Godaikin one, the Godaikin one comes, of course, in a blue box, or it comes in a silver box with like a window. It's a window box. There's a silver window box and then a blue box. And then the Popy box looks just like this box did, except with Japanese writing. But this is one of the variants of God Marz. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the window below. And talk to you later.